Was that awesome or what? Now, I know some of you are still expecting Queen Elizabeth to show up, but you got Freddie Mercury. That was awesome. Thank you, Mark and Virginia, and for all the choir members and musicians for all the time and energy and talent you bring. Let me tell you, that's what I call church. A couple of things I want to share with you tonight, not for very long, and then I'm going to let everybody go. But I want to thank Chip Woodson especially. Chip is our director of stewardship. Chip is the sweetest, kindest, most gentle man that I know, and he is one of the hardest workers I've ever seen. And for 5 years, Chip, 5 years now, he has been behind the scenes, taking care of all the details, doing so much work to make our feast happen, and for our stewardship for, we have to raise $2 million every year, or that's really what it takes for us to do what we do, and Chip is such a joy to work with. Thank you, Chip, very much. And I want to thank Russell Lawson for all his great communications. Russell, I know you're out there, brother. Thank you. And Sabrina LaFleur and Anita Lisk and Pekana Teal for all the work you guys have done. And last but not least, I want to thank Brent Wynn and Jeff Sisk and Peggy Crowley, who Brent and Jeff are heading up stewardship this year, and Peggy's on the committee with them. And thank you guys for all the work that you do. Thank you. Now, as you may be aware, this year we did something different. We actually started sending out pledge cards and asking people to think about what kind of a gift they wanted to give back to God in thanksgiving for their lives. We asked folks to start thinking about that and making their pledges before the feast instead of at the beginning following the feast, which has been our practice in the past. So I'm happy to report that as of today, we have over half of our pledges in hand that we receive every year. We have 379 pledges in hand, which is ahead of schedule for us. So thank you all for all of you who have made a gift. Of those 379 pledges, 229 of those have been increases, with an average increase of 16% per pledge for those 229 so far. And we have 29 new pledges this year so far. 29 new folks who have never given to our life together have stepped up, so thank you. If you have not yet pledged, I hope that you will, and if you need a pledge card, on the table to the right, over here to my right, in the back of as you exit, there are plenty of extra pledge cards out there. So on behalf of Brent and Jeff, I'm serious when I say take one, okay? I love this feast because it brings together all of our community. 7:45 a.m. folks, 9 o'clock service, 11:15 a.m. folks who don't even worship with us but come to Bible studies and book clubs and various groups and consider St. James as their parish home, which it is. It brings us all together to celebrate as a family and to remember how wondrous it is when we're all together and what we can do. And what the music department does up here every year is, to me, symptomatic of what we can do as a congregation. I love walking around and hearing the laughter and the conversation, the new relationships that are being made at the tables and the old friendships that are being renewed. We have an amazing parish of old and young and middle-aged and all in between, and so many folks gather together on this night. In fact, I want to share, I don't want to embarrass them, but we have 2 tables of ladies over here who, I will not tell you how old they are, but combined they have more than 750 years of ministry at St. James's. Right over here, right over here. 750 years. And I can tell you that not one of them is 750 years old. But I get to brag on Marjorie Fleet. God bless her. 103, sitting here every Sunday morning. Marjorie, God bless you, sweetie. You know, there are a lot of people in our wider culture who wonder what a church is good for. They don't quite get it. They don't understand community. They think a church community is some club or some organization that gets together to practice archaic forms of worship, or at best they think we are a semi-quasi social service agency. And I always hurt for folks who don't know the joy of what it means to be in a church community, the joy that we share on a night like this. Because you know what a church is at its best and what we are at our best? We are purveyors of hope. That's what we do together. We share God's love and God's hope in a broken world. We care for people who are sick. We celebrate with people who are married and getting married. We feed the hungry. We help to clothe the homeless, provide housing for folks, education, spirituality. We are purveyors of hope. And if you took St. James's out of our little corner of Franklin Street, it would make a big difference in the life of our city. A big difference, and don't you forget that. We don't sell widgets or windshield wipers. We don't manufacture boxes or buttons. We are people of hope and love who are making a statement by being together and worshiping our God that says, I believe the world can be a better place. I believe I can be a better person. And I believe that you deserve to be loved. And we take that from our doors into the world and we live it all the time. As I've said in sermons before, I wish you could see what I see week after week at the incredible ministries that go on in our parish. It is truly a blessing. And all the gifts that you give make all of those things possible. We don't exist without us stepping up and doing what we can to be purveyors of hope. So I'm going to leave you tonight and just say thank you. Thank you for the gifts that you give. Thank you for the gifts of your time and your energy, and as we saw tonight, your incredible talents. Thank you for your hard work and your love for people around you who need you. Thank you for your voices and your singing and your prayers. Thank you for all of it. It has been a great blessing for me and continues to be year after year. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you very much. So I hope you enjoyed your evening, and we look forward to seeing you soon. And go in peace to love and serve the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Amen.